Hello and welcome to Creatively Free. I'm your host, Ariel Grace. Today, I want to talk with you about how to get creatively unstuck. It is a phrase that I have been exploring and being into and playing with and helping others with for about a decade. And what I have found is there is no consistency to how to get unstuck because we're all unique. However, there's a lot of lies out there that tell you how to get creatively unstuck has to be an entry point through suffering. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, the war of art popularizes the idea that art and getting creatively unblocked, becoming a great writer or great artist, has more to do with discipline, consistency, and working through your blocks by just showing up and doing the thing. If you go to any writer's course or any, creative conference, you'll get that message quite often, that you get unblocked by doing the thing that you want to do, and that the flow of practice will allow for some magic to come through. And this is partial truth in the sense of when I really want to be writing a book, for example, I might do more journaling or more writing, more freeform writing to get the flow in that form. What I want to caution, though, is this idea of pushing through, of force orientation, of suffering-based ways that get you to push and force yourself to get through a block. While it can actually work and it can be effective, why, as you've probably heard if you've been listening to some of my other episodes, why would we want to make things through suffering? Could we let go of that way and discover a new way of getting unblocked for us? Perhaps a way to get unblocked could be listening more so to our inner game, our inner creative desires, which may need a different outlet for a little while or a different way to use our energy. And if we listen to those things, day after day, we build more trust. That may mean for you putting aside a deadline. And when creatives mix earning money with their creative expression, we often find there becomes some conflict along the line. What was once joyful expression coming from the soul, often through repetition and force and, needing to meet deadlines and push, becomes something that is no longer pleasurable and no longer even feeds or fuels soul expression. So how do we resolve that in our lives? The pursuit of creative freedom is worthy of exploration and discovery. The belief that you can create a life where you feel creatively expressed and creatively free and in flow and in joy majority of your time is a worthy pursuit, a worthy hope, a worthy desire. Part of getting creatively blocked can often be tied to self-judgments, deprecating beliefs, sometimes trauma, life events that block us. There's lots of reasons why we get blocked. And as I've worked with clients and other creatives and learned about my own creative patterns around getting unblocked, I have found that a lot of times it's a permissioning issue where we have gone down a certain path and we assume that path will keep working for us with our creative expression. And when it's no longer creating joy for us, whether that be because of money, the money, tie to creating, or if it is just because our interest and our inquiry has shifted and we haven't caught up to that shift yet, then we can start feeling blocked. And all that's required is to start noticing that anxiety, that discomfort, and instead of judging it or shutting it off or turning away from it or creating even a suffering response, maybe we can train ourselves to become curious. Maybe we can reprogram that initial nudge from our soul that says, ugh, something's not quite right. Maybe we can reprogram the thought patterns that come after that to not be drama-oriented, like, oh, I'll never have time for myself to create on my terms. I don't know what I want to create, whatever thought patterns might come in from that angsty, suffering beginning, and instead open to curiosity. I wonder if there's something new coming that wants to move through me. I wonder if there's a way I can access creative expression again in a new format and feel more in flow. And as we discover and explore through that, your way will be different than mine. Mine often has to happen in collaboration. I need some reflection from coaches or friends or others in my life, to need some discussion and dialogue. And then I discover what wants to move through me. Maybe it was a nudge there, but I hadn't been listening. And as I talk and dialogue with others, I realize it's time. This is the time. Part of what's interesting for my experience of creativity is that I often get a lot of visuals and a lot of sort of predictive thoughts of something that may happen in the future for me or for others. And so landing as to when that is the time for whatever that vision I might have seen is one thing that trips me up. And once I know, oh, now's the time, okay, yeah, I'm feeling that, that really unblocks my flow, but it's going to be different for you. I can offer as well that my experience of accessing play and joy and lightness and laughter, from the perspective of a child, your inner child or a child in your life, is another really great way of clearing the seriousness that can be attached to being blocked. So sometimes it's just induced laughter, play, trampoline jumping, whatever it may be, that allows you to get back in the flow and back into feeling creatively inspired. Now, often our minds will go directly to how can I make money from a new inspiration? And that's okay. There's no problem with that. That's our society's enculturation. And that's also going to be a unique space for you to balance as a creative between, whatever dynamic you have of how you earn and make a living and provide for the spaciousness that you need to create. Allow for that to come through, and also allow the spaciousness of not needing to earn money from your creative expression. Just allow the expression to come through. Worry about the editing and the money making and all of that, whatever it is, if it's a book or, a way of selling on Etsy or whatever it is. Allow for that to be not as present during the creational process. Not present at all, ideally. So creating little containers for yourself for the different personas that you need to wear as a creator in the world, content creator, musician, whatever it is, can help you to remember what mode you're in. I invite you to look at getting blocked differently. It's always just energy. There is nothing wrong. There is often judgment. And if we can get underneath the things that we think are blocking us, we will find the inspiration to truly be free. Thanks for tuning in.